The most important aspect of the plank exercise is joint positioning. You are going to utilize what we call the connect the dots approach. We're going to have Dave go up into the full plank position, and what we want is a straight line from his ankle, through his knee, through his hip, right to his shoulder. So Dave actually has to drop his hips just about an inch. We also want to ensure that Dave keeps his shoulders and elbows, as well as his wrists, all in line. So you could see him reposition just slightly to get his elbows further under his shoulders. We want to ensure that his neck stays in what we call a neutral spine position. We don't want any undue strain from Dave looking too far up or too far down towards his toes. It should be the same position as if he were standing. And that goes as well for his lower back. Two common mistakes we see with the plank are people sticking their hips too high up in the ground and getting a big round through their lower back, or just as bad, sagging too far below the midline, where you can see that his hips have now dropped below that connect the dot line from his shoulder through his knee and ankle. For the plank, you can relax, Dave. We're going to focus on intensity as opposed to duration. What we don't want is for you just to continually see how long you can hold the plank exercise. Instead, you're going to focus on the intensity of your contraction. To do so, we're going to utilize a cue from Charlie Weingroff, in which Dave's going to go back into the full plank position. He's going to lower his hips again just a little bit. He's going to try to grip the floor with his elbows and toes and then squeeze and try to pull the two together as hard as he can. If you try this at home, you're going to notice that you get an increased intensity of contraction through the center of your body, which is exactly what we want. We have 3 central tenets to the plank. We want you to always stay stiff through your torso. We want you to ensure that you're able to maintain a running conversation throughout the duration of the exercise. And lastly, but most importantly, you should never be in pain when you're doing the plank exercise. If you are, we likely require regression to an easier exercise. For our exercise prescription, our goal is 10 rounds of a 10-second plank with 2 seconds of rest period in between. You can see that Dave is doing the plank with his stopwatch right underneath, so he ensures proper timing. You can start with as little as 4 or 5 repetitions of this, and if you're having trouble getting this many, regress back to the half plank for a little while and then come back to the full plank. Here, Dave is going through a 10-second plank hold, then dropping to his knees, maintaining a neutral spine for 2 seconds, and then coming right back up for 10.